Ohtani smokes the ball to right field. Does it stay up? It will!
From MLB.com, this is the Morning Lineup Podcast. I'm your host, Mandy Bell. Today is Tuesday, May 6th, and we almost witnessed history last night in Atlanta. Like 6 outs away from a no-hitter type of history. But apparently it just wasn't meant to be. Don't worry though, Shohei Ohtani did his part to remind us of the history that he made last season. In his first game back at Lone Depot Park since creating the 50-50 club there in September, he did exactly what you'd expect him to do. But when he got back to the dugout, all he wanted to do was celebrate a milestone moment for his rookie teammate. We'll dive into all of that and much more in under 10 minutes. Let's get to it. First, let's just take a trip back to September 19th, 2024.
On a 1-2, Ohtani sends one in the air. The other way. Back it goes. Gone! Shohei Ohtani starts the 50-50 club.
This wasn't just one homer or one enormous milestone. Sure, Ohtani created a brand new, never-before-seen 50-50 club, but this was a performance like no other. Ohtani went 6 for 6 that night with 3 homers and 10 RBIs. Pure insanity. Apparently, he just likes playing in Miami because in his first game back in Lone Depot Park since this moment, he did this.
And Ohtani hammers this one to right field. If it stays up, it's gone. It is gone! A home run!
The ball exploded off of his bat at a whopping 117.9 mile per hour clip. That marks the hardest hit homer of the season so far by any batter, and it's his 9th career blast with an exit velocity of at least 117 miles per hour. The only 2 players in the majors with more of those are Aaron Judge, who has 10, and Giancarlo Stanton, who has 22. After a year in which Ohtani enjoyed 54 homers, it may not sound too crazy to say that he entered Monday with 8 long balls on the season, but through the Dodgers' first 34 games last season, he had 7 homers and 7 stolen bases. This year, he had 8 homers and 9 stolen bases and added another home run in Game 35. Maybe he's just carving out yet another unprecedented performance. But in the meantime, he's more worried about celebrating his friend than basking in his own accomplishments.
He takes one the other way, and Hae-Sung Kim has his first big league knock.
Just before Ohtani's big swing, Hae-Sung Kim, who was called up to the majors over the weekend, got his first big league hit out of the way on a single to left field and immediately stole second base. Ohtani allowed him to have an easy jaunt home with a big swing, but after Ohtani clapped hands with all of his teammates in the dugout, he turned around and jumped on Kim to celebrate the occasion. Then, in the next inning, Kim recorded his first RBI.
He lifts one into shallow left center field. That's going to drop for a hit. Pages racing around third. He'll come in to score.
Oh, he's 2 for 3 in his first major league start.
Teoscar Hernandez may have left the game with left hamstring tightness, yet this Dodgers lineup still figures out ways to get better. Their major league best record improved to 24-11 after their 7-4 win over the Marlins. Everything seemed to be working in the Yankees' favor, especially when outfielder Trent Grisham continued his power surge with his 9th home run of the season.
Drill deep to right field. There it goes! See ya! Into the second deck.
The rain delayed the start of the game. It also paused play for roughly a half hour in the middle of the game. And when the rain started to pick back up yet again, the Yankees had a 3-run lead through 5 innings. If the weather would get worse, it'd be an official game and New York would have the victory. The Padres were in desperate need of a spark. Sometimes that's a hit, sometimes it's a run, but for San Diego, all it needed was manager Mike Shildt to flick his glasses toward the dugout in a heated rage.
Now Mike Shilt's going to throw his stuff. And he is really going to let him have it.
Fernando Tatis Jr. struck out in the 8th inning and was ejected from the game in his walk back to the dugout after exchanging words with the umpire. His skipper, Shildt, came charging out of the dugout to protect his star hitter and threw his lineup card, his pen, and even his glasses, as we said, in a fit of rage, which not only created a buzz in the stands at Yankee Stadium, but clearly it fired up his own dugout. Luis Arraez, the next batter, walked, and then Manny Machado and Xander Bogaerts gave the Padres the lead.
Bogaerts to the left in for a base hit. One run is in. Here comes Machado. The throw to the plate. Padres take the lead.
The Padres have now won 6 consecutive games after defeating the Yankees 4-3. Now, who was the latest hurler to flirt with a no-hitter? Find out after the break. Smith-Shawver had made a total of 10 big league starts in his career and had yet to complete 6 innings. He's been rushed through his baseball career. Did you know he didn't even start pitching until his senior year of high school? This is a guy who just needs to have some time to settle in. Once he does, things could get pretty exciting. Just as we saw last night. The 22-year-old right-hander carried a no-hitter into the 8th inning against the Reds. He worked around 4 walks through 7 innings, returned to the mound in the 8th, and gave up a leadoff single to Santiago Espinal to eliminate the chance of making history.
Ground ball, Ozzie, 4, 6, 3, 8 marvelous innings for the 22-year-old A.J. Smith-Shawver.
So often when a pitcher loses a perfect game, they then quickly lose the no-hitter and then the shutout. Things can unravel quickly when a hurler gets out of the rare, untouchable groove that they had been in. Despite the walks, Smith-Shawver stayed effective. Despite the hit to lead off the 8th as his pitch count inched closer to 100, he didn't get rattled. He forced the next hitter to pop out to second base before inducing an inning-ending double play ball to end a career-best 8-inning night of one-hit ball. To back him, the Braves offense scored 4 runs in the 3rd on a double, single, and inside-the-park homer by Matt Olson, but it didn't end up being as fun as it sounded.
3-2 in the air, down the left field line, slicing towards the corner, racing over and sliding to it, Callahan, and then into the sidewall. He's dropped the ball, and everybody's going to continue to run. Riley trots to the plate. Callahan is injured. Olson around third. He'll come around, and he will score.
Not only did the Reds fall 4-0 to the Braves, but Cincinnati also lost rookie outfielder Tyler Callahan on the inside the Parker as he broke his left forearm while crashing into the wall in his attempt to make the catch. Callahan just received his first call to the big leagues last Wednesday and will now have to wait to see what his projected timetable to return to baseball will be. Elsewhere around baseball, first, the Mets found out that they were losing reliever A.J. Minter for the rest of the season after he decided to undergo surgery to repair his left lat muscle. And then Corbin Carroll led off the game with his 10th homer of the season. But the polar bear was there to save the day for the Mets.
Oh boy. He hits one out of sight to left field. Forget that. That is way out of here.
After a back-and-forth 11-inning marathon, Jacob Wilson hit a walk-off single to give the A's a 7-6 win over the Mariners. Now the Athletics are just 1 game behind the first-place Mariners in the AL West. O'Neal Cruz created 2 crazy stats last night. One, he was caught stealing for the first time since April 22nd of last year. That was a stretch of 34 consecutive steals without being caught. Later, he pushed the StatCast outfield trackers to their brink with this play.
O'Neal Cruz guns it to the plate, and he is out. What a throw!
100 miles per hour on the dot from center field to nail the runner at the plate. And yet, with all this attention on Cruz, the Pirates still fell to the Cardinals 6-3. For the rest of the scores from around the league, check out MLB.com. Later tonight, you can catch MLB.tv's free game of the day at 9:38 p.m. Eastern Time as the Blue Jays take on the Angels. Or you can tune into MLB Network at 9:40 p.m. Eastern Time to catch the Diamondbacks and the Mets. That's all for today's morning lineup. Will Leach will be back tomorrow to get you caught up to speed on all things baseball. As always, please be sure to give us a rating and a review and share this episode with the baseball lovers in your life. Thanks for listening and have a great day.